welcome to Lil's Vintage World. Welcome to a reading vlog where essentially I have no idea, well I had no idea what I wanted to read, and I just want to have a little chat about it first before we actually really get into the reading vlog. Is it just me, or does sometimes you finish a book? So I've literally just finished a book earlier this morning, a vintage book from the 1950s, really quite enjoyed it, and it hasn't left me with a bookish hangover. It's just left me with a feeling of I'm not quite sure what I want to read. So I actually got on my phone and went on Instagram and put up a poll and said, what should I read next? And I was trying to decide between my next Barbara Pym reread or my Miss Silver reread, because I know that I've got a reread itch that I need to scratch. And they're pretty similar, well currently pretty similar in terms of voting, but I still can't decide. Ultimately, obviously I have to make the decision and I still can't decide. So until I have decided, I definitely have this itch of I want a crime book, I think, but isn't too heavy, and I want it really addictive, something that I'm going to get through really quickly. And then I remembered I had this book. So over on this shelf we have Barbara Pym and my Furrowed Middlebrow books, which are imprint of Dean Street Press. I have some of the other ones. So for instance, Patricia Wentworth's up here. These are the ones by Dean Street Press. As you can see, it looks a little bit different because it's the black, and then here there's the red DSP. So all of these ones down here are red. This is also red. Loved this book. A couple of these are red. These three are red. I haven't read those, but I did have, was thinking, perfect for me, this. This is a Susan Scarlett, and this is Murder While You Work. I'm also quite in the mood for books set around the Second World War, and I was going to pick up, oh I can't remember it now, bear with. I was going to read this, All Quiet on the Western Front. I've never read it and I want to read it. I do want to read it, but I was like, no, that is too heavy for me right now. I've got a lot going on mentally at the moment, which I know in my last Susan Scarlett vlog I said I will talk about it, and I will definitely talk about it at some point, but yeah, that time is not now, because actually, in all fairness, it's not long since I last did my last Susan Scarlett vlog. There's not a big put them back. What a mess. There's not a big difference. Look, I do have a little bit of space since my unhaul here, because I've been able to move things around, so I have more space for the handheld press books. So bit of space until they publish more, and then I end up with no space again. Anyway, so I was thinking of reading that, but that's just too heavy. I think I'll just get emotional. So I think this will be the perfect sort of book to get my teeth into. Pause it if you would like to read what it's about. I like to go into it knowing very, very little. I believe it's a murder mystery, I think. I don't know. I'm guessing it's a murder mystery because it says Murder While You Work. But I love the cover. I love the fact that it's got all these florals. And yeah, I'm very much, and look at her dress, amazing. Oh, we're matching with the, she's got red nail varnish on, and so have I. Ta-da! So yes, let's go and read this in the garden. Would you like to go in the garden and read the book? In the garden? Should we go in the garden and read the book? Would that be fun? Is that something Pup would like to do? Okay. Usually I'll sit out in my swingy seat, which you can see here, but as you can see it's in the shade now, so it's such a beautiful day. I want to sit in the sunshine. So yes, I've got all the important things. I've got my puppy, he's also enjoying the sunshine, gorgeous, gorgeous boy, and then I have my book, Victor Taylor. Yes, you're a gorgeous boy. that's my phone. Ticked The Tailor of Gloucester, Beatrix Potter bookmark. Love these. They're I like doing this with them. I don't know why. And then the book. Oh my word, I just dropped my camera. So, shall we start reading? As I said, this book is kind of like a wartime book. That bird is really going for it. I don't know if you can hear it. There you go, 1944. So, literally during the war. The introduction again is by Elizabeth Crawford, who wrote lots of the suffrage books I used for my dissertation for my master's degree. Whoop whoop, I have a master's degree. So yeah, let's get reading. Should we do the first sentence together? This sun is beautiful, by the way. I wonder if I'll tan. Probably not. Okay. Judy sat staring out of the railway carriage window. Boom. Let's go. So I'm not even a page in. I'm still on page 1, and I found the most lovely sentence and quotes that I just want to share with you. So Judy, who I'm going to guess is probably one of our main characters, perhaps, is sat in a train, and Susan Scarlett wrote this. The country was looking lovely, field after field of oats, rye and barley almost ready to cut. There was meadow sweet waist high in the ditches, and dog rose and honeysuckle springing out of the hedges. That's a bit of me. I am still on page 1, but I have another bit that I need to share with you, because this is not about flowers, it's about another love of mine. Hair. Don't look at my hair. My hair looks atrocious. But I just thought this sounds wonderful. Judy took out her powder case and had a look at her face and hair. Her nose was a little shiny, she decided, and her lips could stand a bit more lipstick, but her hair was all right. It was the sort that stayed where it was put. It was parted in the middle, and with a slight wave on the top, rippled nicely to her shoulders, where it fell in well-ordered curls. There were lots of things about herself that Judy would have changed, but not her hair. She was lucky over her hair, and she knew it. Natural curls and waves, as well as being red gold, was a pretty decent helping for any girl's plate. I love that. Right, I'm going to stop bombarding you with quotes now and actually read the book. I might have caught the sun. I feel a bit warm. Right, so I am reading Murder While You Work. I have got to the start of chapter 7, which is page 70, and I thought I'd quickly update you while I've had like a little natural pause about what the book is about, essentially. So the book is about a woman called Judy. Judy's our main character, and I'll just bring this forward a little bit. I think that's a bit better. Judy is a main character, and when we first meet her, she's on the train, and in her carriage, she, I spoke about how at the beginning we talk about her hair, we go on to talk about her lipstick, and there's this wonderful section, which I was going to read you, but then I was like, no, I just can't keep waffling on at you and give you quotes, so you have to read the book yourself. But it's a wonderful little section, and essentially she gets out her lipstick and she drops her lipstick and it goes on the floor and it's rolling, because obviously they're on a train, and she's got to kind of decide which is more important, getting down and risking her stockings because there's a lot of rubbish on the floor, or her lipstick. And she's like, I'm going to leave my lipstick. But there's a young gentleman there who looks very smart, who's like, I'll help you, and he helps her retrieve her lipstick and gives it a little clean for her and stuff. And they get talking about where they're stopping and all this place, and where they're getting off, not where they're stopping, where they're getting off. And conversation happens, and she says they can't go, oh, we're at the same place, and essentially they both are working at the same munitions factory. So Judy was a nurse during the war, however she's having a change for reasons, and she is now going to work in a munitions factory, which is what my grandmother did during the Second World War. She was a bomb girl as well, so that's the things that she's doing. So shell cases, guns, all those types of things. He's working in the factory but in a different area, and they start a conversation and blossoming. I'm not sure if it's going to be a typical Susan Scarlett where there's going to like be a romance that goes alongside it, but if there is, I am hoping for them. And she's billeted in this house, so she's been assigned digs in this house, which is, according to some people, creepy. So other people have lived there before and then asked to be placed somewhere else because the housing situation, the living situation with the people that live in there, they think is just a bit odd and creepy. And Judy is finding some people that live there quite affectionate, some people less so. So there is a widowed older lady that owns the house. She's recently been widowed. Her husband died recently. He wasn't ill or anything, he kind of died quite suddenly. They have a daughter, a living daughter, Rose. Then they have like a granddaughter through marriage type of thing that also lives there, Clara. And her son Desmond, who's also a bit... And there is a dog called Mr. Jones, who I loved. I have to be honest, he was my favourite character. And I've just finished, because this isn't spoilers, because it does actually say on the blurb. So if you did pause on the blurb, you'll know this. Some absolute turd on a stick has just killed the dog. And so I've had to put the book down because I am fuming. Usually when people get bumped off in like murder mysteries and stuff, I am not bothered. I'm like, yeah, did I like you much anyway? Meh. I have to be honest with you, I much prefer dogs to people. I don't know if that's the right thing to say, but I do. I think dogs are wonderful and I love them very much. And I was feeling quite emotional when I read that bit, and I was like, it doesn't, I have to say, the book doesn't read like a typical murder mystery. And it's not that type of murder mystery book. There's definitely stuff that is going on in the background that isn't right, and hopefully we will get to the bottom of it. But I have to say, I am absolutely loving it so far. I love the character of Judy, and the character of Nick, and I just love all of them. I love... The thing with Susan Scarlett is she writes characters who are very vivid, even though this book is like 200 pages and I'm only on page 70. You know, these characters are so vivid in my imagination, and yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. I really like how she's written The Munitions Factory, talking about how hard work it is on your feet and the noise. I think that's really prominent. I remember my grandma saying how much it was hard work on your feet, and this is someone who was a nurse. So she was a nurse, so she was used to being on her feet all day, but this is going from a nurse to munitions, and how difficult it is with battling the fact that your feet hurt with the fact that your ears hurt and your head hurts, and the noise of the factory. So yeah, it's good to see that it's, you know, the Munitions Factory isn't just like a mention. There has been efforts that have gone into describing it as well. I should really look into more of Susan Scarlett, well, Noelle Streatfeild, and her life, to learn a bit more about her time during the war. Because often when you read books during the war, they're often influenced by what you did during the war or prior knowledge in some way or other. So yeah, I should do that. So yeah, I had to put the book down a little bit for the dog death because I was fuming. How could someone do that? So yeah, but I'm gonna pick it up now. I think I would like, by the end of today, to probably get to like 100 pages. Is there a 100-page stoppy mark? Probably not. Oh yes, actually, page 100 exactly. The new chapter starts. So yeah, that's going to be my kind of goal for the end of today. But yeah, I am feeling a little bit tired. but my other half isn't going to be home for a couple of hours yet, so I can get a couple of more hours of reading in. Well, about an hour or so of reading in before I have to start tea. Yeah, but loving it so far. But anyway, I'll update you as I go. So I'm on page 74, right? And although I can't work out yet who's done it, I think I've got the murder weapon. Obviously, I don't want to tell you because I don't want to spoil anything. Like, I had an inkling before, but now I'm like, yeah, it's definitely that. If I'm wrong, then it'll be terrible, but so obviously I don't want to spoil anything for you, but I'll have to let you know at the end if I'm right. Onwards. Hello, it is the next day. Another day 2 of this reading vlog. Well, I'm reading A Susan Scarlett. Today has already been quite a busy day for me. I'll run you through my morning. So I gave Pup his morning WALK, then I went to work, then I did a top at food shop, came back, gave Pup his next WALK, then I put on, then I had cereal for lunch. Who doesn't love breakfast for lunch? Then I put on the Julia Mackenzie adaptation of A Caribbean Mystery, fell asleep, had a nap, so I watched the beginning, watched the end, didn't watch the middle. Luckily I've watched it so many times, it's fine. And yeah, here I am now. So me and Pat, here he is. I'm just in this little tea dress, which I think is very cute. These lovely florals. Yeah, me and Papa are just in the garden. I'm in the sun and he's in the sun. He's an absolute sun worshipper. But at some point I know he will, when it gets a bit warm, he'll just migrate over there to the shade. My swingy seat, as you can see, is in the shade, so I don't want to sit there. I've put some suntan lotion on, just in case it is quite warm. And yesterday, as I thought I would, I did get to chapter 10, which is page 100, which is exactly halfway through this book. Stuff is happening, let me tell you, stuff is happening. There's people that are dead, and there's suspicions, and yeah, I have, as I said yesterday, I have ideas of how it's being done. I think I'm pretty, like, yeah, clued up on how it's being done, I think. But who it is, like, there's a very obvious person who it could be, and I'm like, nah. I don't think it would be, but, I mean, who knows, because I've never read a Susan Scarlett, like, mystery before, so... yeah, but I am really enjoying it so far. I really like the character of Judy and Nick, who is the kind of like love interest. Look at Pup. Yeah, really enjoying those as characters, and yeah, just enjoying it in general. I'm not sure how much I want to read, just because I am literally enjoying it so much. I don't want it to end. Like, I don't want to finish it today, so I could get to like 50 pages today and then read the rest of the 50 pages tomorrow. I might do that, just because I don't want it to end today. Does anyone else get this when you enjoy a book so much that you don't want it to finish? So yeah, let's see where we go, and see how much I get done today in the sunshine. So it's quite a while later now. It's actually now 8:30, just gone 8:30. Quite tired. I feel like I'm ready for bed already. But I read a bit more of Murder While You Work, and I'm on page 147, and I'm stopping because I've got just over 50 pages to go, because this book is exactly 200 pages. And really enjoying it. Don't want to rush it. And I also don't want to rush it, not just because I'm enjoying it and don't want it to end, but also I don't want to rush it because I want to take more time over like murder mysteries. I think murder mysteries for me are a type of book that I can whiz through really quickly, and enjoy them, and I'd like to whiz through them a bit slower and take it in a bit more at a pace that I would other fiction books. So that's what I want to do, let it sink in, especially like a bit that I've just read,
And I now have an idea of who's done it. Well, I've had an idea for a little while, and it's getting stronger, my feeling. I'll have to tell you at the end if I have my feelings correct. I'm definitely wrong. So instead of reading, because I'm going to read that tomorrow, although the weather's not meant to be as nice tomorrow, but that's fine, whatever. I have put on the TV Downton Abbey. I have made the executive decision of starting Downton Abbey from the beginning again. I love Downton, anybody else? And I'm going to do it properly, so I'm going to like all 6 series plus including the specials, and then the films as well on top. I just love Downton. I've watched Downton so many times. And I just fancied watching it again. So yeah, I've started that from the beginning. But I'm also watching Keeping Appearances. It's Hyacinth Bouquet. I've started that from the beginning as well, and I'm on series 3 at the moment. So I'm kind of like, I'm watching one episode of Downton. I'm looking over there because my TV's over there. I'm watching one episode of Downton, then Keeping Appearances, and just keep going like that. I think that's going to be my evening while I eat a whole tin of peaches. I put tins of peaches in the fridge. They're just delicious, and I can't help it. I like one of my favourite fruits. Anyway, so that'll be it for tonight. I'll see you tomorrow. Looking hopefully a bit less tired, probably more tired. I feel very, very tired now. So yeah, see you in the morning, bright and early, and we can finish off the book.
Good morning. You'll have to excuse the washing machine that's going off, but I wanted to show you some bits that I just got from the shop. First of all, they had donut buns on offer, so I had to get those. Oh dear. Then the reason why I went to the shop, milk, ran out of milk, so. And then I thought these were ever so good. So strawberries and raspberries. These were on offer, 2 for £3, which I didn't think was too bad at all, because sometimes you get a plate of strawberries and there's like 5 strawberries in them, but there's quite a few in there. And they're really nice and ripe. They are today's date, that's the 28th of May, that's today. But they're fine, they look really nice and ready to go. The other ones were looking not quite ripe enough, but these look really nice and red, and I love these. So I think I might do myself a little fruit salad in a bit. But I thought for 2 for £3, I thought that's not bad at all. So yeah, just wanted to share with you my little food haul.
And a proper hello to you now. We have come outside because it's such a lovely day. It's not as hot as yesterday, which is quite nice in a way. It's quite windy, so I hope you can hear me all right. Got myself a cup of tea in my Marie mug, and we're just going to sit out here, watch the garden. I've got a pup with me. And we're just going to sit in the garden for a bit and chill out and just watch and listen to the birds, look at the garden. It's looking ever so pretty. I'll show you the pond.
See, look how nice the pond's looking. My dad bought me some new flowers, which is those ones in the blue pot, the little pink and lilacs. They were so pretty. Hoping they would take, and they have, so that's good. There's lots of froggies in there too. So pup is actually currently lay on my book, so I don't know how much reading I'm going to get done, but yeah, I'll have my cup of tea, which is my favourite at the moment, which is the peach and orange from Twinings. It's so nice. I don't like tea, but I love fruit tea. And then yeah, I'm going to admire the garden. Lovely roses that have started to come out, and my fruits and veggies that are growing. And then yeah, do some reading outside for a bit.
Hello, good morning. It is actually now the following day. So yesterday I finished reading the book, but well, 2 things. One, I had quite a busy afternoon. I finished it in the morning, and in the afternoon I was just having a really busy day. We had family over, and yeah, didn't really have time to film, but also I wanted a bit of time to let my thoughts sink in a bit, I guess, because yesterday all I was doing was like, not really intentionally, but I was comparing it to other books of the same genre, I guess, which is something that I naturally quite do. And I thought, no, I shouldn't really do that because it's not really right. So let's talk about it. So I've already said about what it's about. So the book's from 1944 and is set during the Second World War, as well as being written during the Second World War. It's set during the Second World War. We have Judy, who meets this man on the train, and together they end up investigating this dodgy goings on of these deaths that have been occurring in Judy's place of lodgings, which appear to be natural deaths, but they're a bit suspicious that something's going on. Essentially, that's what the book is about. And it was really good. And I really enjoyed it. Now, obviously, being a mystery, I can't tell you too much because I don't want to give the game away. So that's kind of all that's going to be said about the plot. And as I said yesterday, all I was doing was kind of comparing it to other things. Like I was comparing it to Agatha Christie and Patricia Wentworth, which is something that I kind of naturally do because they're kind of like my benchmark. Agatha Christie for me is the queen of crime, absolutely. But Patricia Wentworth has got some real wonderful books in there too. And yeah, I kind of, when I think of books from this period, 1940s, both Agatha Christie and Patricia Wentworth were writing at this time. And so when this book came out, their books were coming out as well, in their respective series and standalones, etc., of the same genre, I guess. This is different to other Susan Scarletts that I've read because this is a murder mystery, essentially, but it's not like an Agatha Christie, for instance. It's not a real head-scratch who's done it type thing, really. It's not necessarily a puzzle. Sorry if you can hear my washing machine, by the way. It's not really that much of a puzzle. It's more you read it and go along for the journey sort of thing. I was trying to work it out as I went, and I didn't really need to do that. I did actually get it right, which I was pleased about, in a way. But then I was thinking, I've definitely read far too many Agatha Christie's and stuff to be able to work out this mood of this method of killing someone, essentially. So I was like, oh dear. But anyway, I was pleased that I got it right, but then I was thinking, oh, I've definitely read too much and watched too much crime. So yeah. Yeah, so it's quite different because as well as this kind of murder mystery going on, you do have the typical Susan Scarlett stuff going on in the background as well, which is this kind of light romance that trickles alongside all her novels that I've read so far, including this one. And I wasn't sure if it was going to work, but then when you read Patricia Wentworth often has, in her Miss Silver novels, often has a romance like trickling along in there as well too. So I know it can work. And yeah, it worked for Susan Scarlett as well, and I really enjoyed it. I think something that I really liked in particular was the writing style for this didn't change. So the writing style that we know from Close Pegs, Peter and Paul, Babbicom's, Poppies for England, Sally Ann, those ones that I've read, this is the same. It's the same writing style. It hasn't changed. But obviously what she's writing, the genre's changed, but her writing style hasn't. But it complements it beautifully because the killings that happen in this book are very cold, very brutal and very dark, but there is a lightness to Susan Scarlett's writing style that complements the darkness of the killings. And So you're reading it and it's an absolute page turner, particularly the ending when it's all, you know, the reveal, the big reveal, the favourite part of mine. I always love the reveal of who's done it and why and all this stuff. And it was a real action-packed ending as well. It'd be a great adaptation to see on film or TV or something. And yeah, when that was going on and the darkness was coming out of what was happening, why, etc., etc., the writing style, the typical Susan Scarlett writing style, just balanced it beautifully. The light with the dark, and it just worked. I am a bit gutted that there isn't more mysteries that Susan Scarlett wrote. I'm a bit gutted about that because I really, really enjoyed this. Rating wise, I'm not sure. It's very much of its period, and there is a part of this that I'm not, you know, it's very much of the time and acceptable at the time and not acceptable now, and it did read uncomfortable to me, which is something that happens with the young lad called Desmond. Yeah, and a kind of altercation with Judy. But I understand that it's a different era, you know, almost 100 years ago, you know, different time and all that stuff. So yeah, I do understand that. That's the only thing that I didn't like about the book. And so I don't know what to rate it. I don't know whether to give it a 4-star, 4.5, a 5-star. I was hoping that today time has elapsed and I might have a decision. I don't. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit it at 4 stars, and because I did really, really enjoy it, and then see how it kind of plays on my mind. And if time goes by and I think of it in such warm regards as I do Clothes Pegs, Peter and Paul and Babbacom's, then I'll up it to 5, or it'll just sit at 4. But I do think it's well worth the read. I'm seeing lots of people picking up Susan Scarlett's now, which is wonderful. I do wish people would explore a bit more. I see a lot of people picking up the same sort of books. I'm not seeing so many people pick up this one, but hopefully from this review, this reading blog, some of you will go and pick it up because I did really enjoy it. And I think if you enjoy Agatha Christie, if you enjoy Patricia Wentworth, then I think you will really like this, because it's that easiness of it with Susan Scarlett's wonderful writing style. If you already enjoy her writing style and you like classic crime, you will enjoy this. Hands down, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. It's wonderful. Not a typical head scratchy one, more just read it and enjoy it, go along for the ride, but yeah, wonderful. So there we have it. That is my reading vlog of Murder While You Work by Susan Scarlett. Really enjoyed it. Highly recommend it. Let me know in the comments if you've read it. Let me know in the comments if you plan on reading it. I want to talk all things Susan Scarlett, just generally. So talk to me about Susan Scarlett. Talk to me about any classic crime books that you have been reading recently. I'm really feeling the classic crime binge now. And I think I'm going to go and read some more. Probably pick up a Patricia Wentworth, I'm not going to lie. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I shall see you soon for the next video. Bye for now.